they could be going in future elections. So this is going to be a weird one. So let's do it. I'm going to highlight the swing states. So you're probably wondering why I have some of the West Coast and a lot of the East Coast up here filled in. We're going to get to that last because that could do a little breaking down. So swing states that are going to go Republican this election are probably going to be Arizona. Why do I have Texas? We're going to talk about Texas. District 2, Nebraska, Georgia. We're going to talk about Florida. We're going to talk about Florida, actually. It will go Republican for this cycle. Oh, yeah, I have some states for the Jake. You might be saying this. Don't get mad. Probably Wisconsin, Michigan, these states in the Rust Belt here. Most of the Rust Belt, except for Illinois, is going to go red. I think this is the Rust Belt, I'm pretty sure. And then the Sun Belt is going to also be mostly red, except for New Mexico. Now, let's talk about, District 2 up here, District 1, and probably the at-large. So now we have these golden swing states. Let's just fill out the election map. So election map here. Why do I have California and Texas and Florida and New York and Massachusetts, Rhode Island? So let's keep going with the swing states. They're probably going to swap Republican for PA, Republican for New Hampshire, Democrat for Virginia, and probably Democrat in Nevada. Now, I have California. We're going to talk about California. So California, there is a lot of evidence that I've found of it actually leaning to the Republican side. Do I think it's going to go Republican in this cycle? Not necessarily. However, I do think in the future, maybe by 2032, 2028, it could go Republican by 1 or 2 points. You have more people moving out of California, inner cities, mostly Democratic areas. That's why I think it could possibly in 2032 be like a tilt Republican. As of right now in this cycle, it's going to be like a Democrat state. Let's switch over to New Mexico and Colorado. They say that there's going to be a red wave going through New Mexico. I personally want to believe it. I don't think it's going to be true. Same with Colorado. I think Colorado doesn't like Trump's weed policy. It's going to ban pot. Same with New Mexico. I just think New Mexico is going to be a blue state for this cycle. Texas. Now let's talk about Texas. Normally you would think Texas is really Republican, and yes, for the most part it is. Now, however, you have more Hispanics coming in along the southern border, mostly Democratic. So, basically, by 2032, this could be a tilt Democrat state, and it still could be a tilt Republican state. Texas isn't tilt right now, but in the future. Right now, for this cycle, I think it's going to be a Republican, but that's just... Now, Florida, let's talk about Florida. Yeah. Actually, no, let's go to the Northeast, because it'll work better. Yeah, if we do it in the Northeast in the order. So, New York. Why do I have New York on here? You're probably thinking. A lot of people from the New York area, New York City, are actually moving to Florida and taking more Democrats out. Do I think it's gonna go Republican this cycle? Not right now. I think, if anything, it's a likely Democrat state. In a few cycles, it could be tilt red even, and that would be very good for Republicans. But right now, I think it's going to go Democrat. Rhode Island, let's go with Rhode Island. Same thing here. I mean, it's a really weird one. It seems more Democrat than it really is. right now, I think it's going to go Democrat, but who knows. Massachusetts, same story with New York. They're all moving down to the south, but we're going to get to the south right. I think it's going to go blue this cycle, but we're going to get to the south right now. So Florida, right? Florida is going to be a weird one. You have a lot of immigrants coming in from Cuba voting against Democrats because they've already experienced what happens when you elect a left president. So Florida. Florida, you have a lot of immigrants from the Cuba area and the Caribbean area. You have them voting against Democrats, but you also have people coming in from the north, New York and Boston, like I just said, and you have them voting for Democrats, which really makes this a really, really close state, which it already is. I think this cycle it's going to be Republican state, but in a few cycles, it's definitely going to go Democrat again. It's definitely going to see its fair shares of both sides. It could even be toss-up some elections, and you just have it where whoever has the more electoral votes. I don't know, can you do that? For right now, I think it's mostly a Republican state. Might even be like a lean Republican to a tilt. In a few election cycles, if it keeps trending the way it is, it could even be a likely or even a safe if we get crazy. But if more and more immigrants move from I shouldn't say immigrants, but like people from New York move there, it's definitely going to be a tilt Democrat. But you could also see states like New York and Rhode Island, Massachusetts go red. So this is what we could look at good for Republicans, because Texas is a huge prize with 55 electoral votes. If they can get the North and California, that would be amazing. While they lose Florida and maybe even Texas, let's say Texas goes blue. They lose Texas. They still have 342. That's still a lot of electoral votes. I mean, that's not even 200 for the Democrats. That's kind of embarrassing. But, yeah. So, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, even maybe a subscribe. Yeah. See y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.